As it is now the scheduled time, may I ask Mr. Son to take the chair? Good morning. I am Masayoshi Son, Chairman and CEO of SoftBank Group Corp. AGM is once a year where I have an opportunity to see you in person and communicate with you what my passion is about, and I am looking forward to this opportunity every year. Today, we want to talk about the journey of the SoftBank in the past and how we are going to navigate ourselves in the next 10 years and ahead. And I look forward to sharing our views with you later. Thank you once again very much for taking time from your busy schedules to attend today. I will chair this meeting pursuant to the provision of Article 13 of the Articles of Incorporation. I hereby call the 45th Annual General Meeting of Shareholders to order. This meeting utilizes an online attendance system, allowing shareholders to vote and ask questions via the Internet. The agenda today is just as stated in the convocation notice posted on our website. I would also like to report that the meeting has a quorum. Now the moderator will explain the proceedings of the meeting. Thank you. We will start with matters for reporting, then explain the matters for approval, then we will discuss the business strategy. Following that, we will proceed to a Q&A session on all matters for reporting and matters for approval. After the Q&A session, we will take vote on the matters for approval only. For exercising voting rights, shareholders on site will be asked to confirm by clapping, and shareholders online are asked to exercise their voting rights through the Internet. Please note that online voting is already available, but once a vote is cast, it cannot be modified. After explaining the matters for approval and the business strategy, we will first answer the questions submitted in advance. Then shareholders on site will be invited to ask questions. To ensure many shareholders can participate, each shareholder will be limited to one question. We kindly ask that questions be made standing, kept brief, and within 1 minute. Also, questions from shareholders on site will only be accepted until the start of the Q&A from online shareholders. Then we will address any questions submitted online only today. This website is already open for posting questions and comments for shareholders and will close 5 minutes after the start of the Q&A session. Online shareholders who wish to ask questions should submit them in 200 characters or less. Each shareholder may ask one question. Please be advised that any motions from online shareholders, including those related to the meeting procedures or matters for approval, will not be accepted as previously notified. In case any shareholders on site submit a motion to amend the resolutions, these will be deliberated together with the original proposals, and we will vote on the original proposals first. Thank you for your attention. Now I'd like to call for a vote to confirm if this procedure is acceptable. Online participants, please press clapping button if you agree. Those attending in person, please clap your hands. Thank you very much. Let us now confirm the voting results. Please await a moment. Thank you. With the majority of shareholders agreed, we shall proceed with this procedure. The matters for reporting are as shown on the screen. I'd like to present you a summary video to explain our business overview. About 10-minute long video. Please watch.
情報革命で人々を幸せに。ソフトバンクグループは創業以来変わらぬ経営理念のもと情報革命を牽引。2024年度は来るべき AGI、さらにその先の ASI の実現を加速させるべくグローバルで攻めの戦略を展開しました。2025年1月、ソフトバンクグループ株式会社は OpenAI、オラクルなどと共同で AI インフラストラクチャーを米国内で構築するためにスターゲートプロジェクトを発表しました。翌2月にはソフトバンクグループと OpenAI は企業ごとにカスタマイズされた最先端 AI、クリスタルインテリジェンスの開発・販売に関するパートナーシップを発表。そして本取り組みを加速させるため合弁会社の設立に合意しました。さらに3月には AI 革命における最重要パートナーとして位置づけ OpenAI への追加出資に最終合意。加えて AI 半導体チップの設計・開発を手掛ける英国のグラフコアの子会社化や米国のアンペアコンピューティングの買収発表。医療データと AI を活用し個別化医療の支援を目指す SB テンパス設立など AI 分野への取り組みを積極的に実施した1年となりました。2024年度の売上高は前年度比 7.2% 増の7兆2438億円となりました。連結の投資利益は3兆7011億円となりました。純利益は1兆1533億円となり、4年ぶりの黒字となりました。中間配当の22円と合わせた2024年度の年間配当は1株当たり44円となり、2025年度の配当は2024年度と同額を予想しております。ARM は世界を変えるイノベーションの原動力となる AI コンピューティングプラットフォームです。エッジデバイスからクラウドに至るまで卓越したパフォーマンス、スケーラビリティ、そして効率性を提供します。ロイヤルティ収入とライセンス及びその他の収入が過去最高を記録し、売上高は前年度比 25.3% 増の40億米ドルとなりました。ARM はチップ開発を加速し、製品の市場投入を早める ARMv9 や コンピュートサブシステムの採用が市場において増大することでビジネスの規模を着実に拡大しています。AI を活用した成長可能性の大きな企業へ投資するソフトバンクビジョンファンド事業では、規律あるアプローチの下で投資及び資金化を継続。2024年度の投資利益は4349億円を計上。またソフトバンクビジョンファンド2から AI 革命を牽引する企業へ投資を実行しました。ファンド活動開始以来の累計投資成果はソフトバンクビジョンファンド1で234億米ドルのプラス、ソフトバンクビジョンファンド2で229億米ドルのマイナスとなりました。ソフトバンクグループ株式会社は戦略的投資持ち株会社として直接または子会社を通じた投資活動を実施。2024年度の投資利益は3兆4138億円の利益を計上しました。アリババ、T モバイル、ドイツテレコム各社の株価上昇によるものです。セグメント利益は7943億円となりました。アリババ株とドイツテレコム株の投資利益がデリバティブ関連損失の計上で相殺されたほか、財務費用5313億円などの計上も影響しています。日本国内の通信事業を中心とするソフトバンク事業の2024年度のセグメント利益は、コンシューマー、エンタープライズ、メディア、e コマースなど全ての事業が増益となったことに加え、ペイペイ株式会社の連結営業利益が黒字に転じたことなどにより、前年度比 8.5% 増の9063億円となりました。ソフトバンク株式会社は AI との共存社会を支える次世代社会インフラの実現に向け、北海道や大阪府において次世代 AI データセンターの構築に取り組んでいます。さらにモバイルネットワークと AI を融合し、新たな価値を創出する AI ランに取り組んでいます。2024年11月にはそのコンセプトを実現するソリューションアイトラスを発表。海外展開も視野に入れ、商用化に向けた開発を本格化しています。2024年度は財務方針を堅持しつつ、将来の成長に向けた投資を最優先に進めてきました。成長投資は昨年度に比べ約2倍となる79億米ドルとなりました。また株主還元の一環として自社株式の取得も進め、総額5000億円のプログラムにおいて2025年5月末までに 61% の取得が完了しました。このような中でも LTV については通常時 25% 未満で運用するという財務方針を堅持し、2025年3月末は 18% でした。手元流動性については2年分に相当する社債償還資金を保持する方針に基づき、2025年3月末時点の償還予定額 2.1 兆円に対して 3.4 兆円を確保しています。2025年度においてはオープン AI への追加出資やアンペア買収などにより投資額が大きくなることが見込まれますが、そのような中でも LTV や手元流動性に関する財務方針に変更はありません。そして不確実性の高い環境下でも慎重かつ大胆に財務活動を展開し、ネットアセットバリューの成長の礎を築いていきます。情報革命で人々を幸せにという経営理念には、300年後の未来、何世代も先の人々まで幸せにし続けるという決意が込められています。 情報革命への投資を通じて、より安全で、より豊かな心躍る未来をもたらすとともに、気候変動や教育格差、経済格差といったグローバルな課題の解決や、サステナビリティの地球規模での実現に貢献していきます。2024年度は AI を活用した自動運転技術、医薬品の開発、遠隔教育などのビジネスへの投資を実施。また AI の進化に伴い増加する電力需要に対応するため、さまざまなクリーンエネルギーへの投資にも取り組んでいます。ソフトバンクグループ株式会社は ASI の実現に向けて AI を活用したかつてない価値の創出に挑むことで、株主価値の最大化を追求してまいります。AI の可能性を信じ、人類の未来に向けた挑戦をこれからも続けてまいります。情報革命で人々を幸せに。
That concludes the video presentation. Let me now present the matters for approval. Details are set out in the convocation notice on our website. Proposal 1, appropriation of surplus. Proposal 2, election of 9 directors. Proposal 3, election of 3 audit and supervisory board members. Proposal 4, revision of remuneration in the form of stock options for directors. Now I would like to present our business strategy. So first of all, I want to share this picture with you. Previously, I may touch on this photo several times, so some of the shareholders already know about this, but I would like to talk about this once again with this opportunity to discuss our 10-year future vision. I think that it's a good idea to come back to this photo once again. When I was 17 years old, this was a mysterious photo that I saw at the first time in my life. Looks like a future city blueprint, or looks like a carpet, Persian carpet. Very mysterious and curious about this photo. I was age of 17 back in 1975. It was January. I was at San Francisco because I went abroad to United States when I was 16 years old. I was looking at the Popular Electricity magazine, and there were tree leaves leaving, and I was flipping the pages of this magazine, and I was reading the news articles about this magazine, and realized that this is a microcomputer photo, and it was the size of fingertip, very, very small chip, and I was shocked. By that time, I was in college and using IBM computer device and doing the programming, and just about start learning the programming. So when you speak of computer, it's huge thing and very expensive thing as well. So for the normal general people wouldn't really afford this kind of things. However, this was a really fingertip size. It's transistor and silicon wafer printed and actually worked as a computer. So surprised. It was so huge shock for me. So you may have an opportunity listening music or watching movie, which gives you cry and with tears. And I was so impressed and surprised with this photo. So my finger or my hands were shaking, and actually my tear, I couldn't stop my tears. And do clearly remember that time. Finally, humankind may found something that exceeds humans' capability, because this very first chip, it was very much similar level of calculator. But sometime in the future, this is going to evolve so that this one chip wafer transistor number is going to be increasing one after another. So it will exceed humans' intelligence someday. That's how I imagined from this photo, because human was the most smartest animal on this planet. That was a kind of the understanding by the time. But now here, by ourselves, with our capability, we human created something that may exceed human itself. So I thought this will be exceeding humans' intelligence sometime in the future. It was scary, but also very exciting, and some kind of happiness or the impressions that came to me, and I couldn't really stop crying back then. Human brains actually once received the big shock that stays in your actual minds or consciousness. So it was like a traumatic event for me, for my brain. I tear up this page and I put it into the clear file. Like you may have a photo of idols, singers, put it into a clear file and always watch that. And instead of having idols or the singers, I have these photos of microchip, put it into clear file, put it in a pillow when I sleep. When I go to school, I always carry it with me and always watch it. Every day I carry it around. It was a kind of encountering to the admire star for me. And after then, I was very much devoted myself into studying computer program. And when I went to one exhibitions, and I learned a lot, hearing many speeches, excited about the new technology and so on. So back then was year of 17, and now I am 67 years old, so just about 50 years ago. SoftBank history, as a matter of fact, started at this point, I think. Real history of SoftBank actually sees 50 years already, and these 50 years, we've been thinking about the technology which will exceed human beings. And there we are, or I myself, to be involved. So that was like a dream, but also determined. Back in my age of 17, I was very much determined I will be playing very important role in this world or in this technology sector. Therefore, as you saw on video, ASI, what is it? You may have not heard about this word in the past. This stands for artificial super intelligence. AI, you may already hear a lot this word. This stands for artificial intelligence. So this AI, artificial intelligence, will become artificial super intelligence. So super in between. So this ASI has an intelligence which exceeds humankind. And that is described and represented by ASI. That's oftenly called by those experts these days. You may start hear a lot more often than before about this word ASI, but the concept itself, starting from back in 1975, the concept of such a super intelligence was already there, like brain computers, so on, that there are kind of fashionable words one by one, time to time. However, the basic concept itself is always the same, which is the super intelligence exceeding humankind. That's something that we are expecting to see, the launch. And I've been having this concept from the beginning, and it has never changed. So why SoftBank has been established? What was the reason for me to start SoftBank? Information revolution. I've been calling it as an information revolutionalist, but more specifically, in the information revolution, more latest edge to the future, keep shining objective is ASI. Realizing ASI, that is why we have founded SoftBank. That is, once again, I wanted to share with you. And I believe it is also the time that we should seriously discuss this agenda. Up until now, many people asked what SoftBank do, because it looks like changing the business segment all the time. Looks like a very mysterious. You may go bankrupt. You're just chasing money. There are so many such criticism about the company, but if you look back the history of the company, we started with software distribution, and then internet era dawned. Then we have invested in U.S. companies related to internet, and we have also invested in Yahoo Inc. and set up the Yahoo Japan joint venture. After then, we have increased the investment towards internet. And that internet came to mobile devices, smartphone devices. So not PC-driven anymore, but smartphone-driven internet has something that we predicted. That's why that we acquired Vodafone KK, and now that turned to SoftBank Corp to start the domestic telecom operations. At the time of the start of this business, we have agreed with Steve Jobs of Apple and start the exclusive sales of iPhone back then, and that has contributed to the development of the mobile internet and also penetrates to the market. Before then, of course, we have started Yahoo BB, so broadband was another thing that we have also spread in the market. So by expanding the mobile phone market, we have acquired Sprint in the United States, merged with T-Mobile. It became the biggest mobile phone operator in the world. This graph, it represents net asset value, meaning because majority of our holdings of stakes are public company, so they have a market cap of our holding stakes. Less net debt, that gives you the kind of a net asset. And this is how you see this graph. Sprint back then criticized it was a big mistake of investments, but as a result, it became a huge profit for us as well. In addition, internet also spread to China, so we became the major shareholder of Alibaba. Then established Vision Fund. We have a good case, bad case, but these days, now that it's become turning to profitability. In addition, after the acquisition, in the meantime, recorded loss, and some people criticize for the failure or mistake of the investments. However, as a result, it grew largely. So from the value, less net debt gives you net asset value. And as of today, it reached at 31 trillion yen. So about 14 trillion yen or 15 trillion our market cap is. So actually, half of our assets are the value of the company. So I believe there is some discount there. But that's the money talk. Important, of course, but it does goes ups and downs. But I do have a confidence. Money is not the goal, but also we need to keep big passion, ambitious target, then that the number will come along. So many people criticize that we are almost bankrupt time to time. However, if you see this one slide, how we have been growing, although there were ups and downs, but still if you see from the bird view, you see that we've been growing a lot. But this is a past, not that important probably. Most important thing is the future. What are we going to do? 10 years later, SoftBank. What SoftBank will be, what we will be doing, how are we going to contribute to society and people. So this is a page. ASI, number one platform provider that we would like to become. So that's the one word I would say for 10 years. Platform or platform provider. It sounds a little bit complicated, but in Japanese, it's like an industrial base. And you will be the center of this industry. More specifically, for example, Google in the United States, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Meta. Those companies, I would say they are platform provider. So they are the one that setting the industrial base. And of course, on top of that, there are many application layers. But as time goes by, I think that there are two groups of the business. Those companies or businesses that you reduce the yield because there are always a competition, and those competitors will do the same business as you, or you may have a more reasonable cost labor, imitate the same business like TV, PC, personal computers, those kind of things, or the home appliances is now more to China or Southeast Asia. So the margin or the yield going down, and actually the main base is moving. so that it's like a low yield type of the business. As time goes by, your yield is going to going down. Your margin will go down. In the past 30 years, Japanese economy is not very good. It's because this is the biggest reason why I believe. Because of most of the business are low yield type. Another group is increasing yield type of business. As time goes by, you will increase your yield even more. Or we can call it as winner takes all. Winners become stronger, so that actually takes all the profit. Platform provider is also called as GAFA, Google, Amazon, Facebook, Apple. Those companies are actually the increasing yield type business, so that they become even more stronger, becoming industrial base. We, SoftBank Group, with this artificial super intelligence, we want to become the platform provider. So you may see like a organizer or the orchestrating the business. So I was, from the beginning, we wanted to be the kind of the organizer of the industry, and that's something that I have said several times in the past. That's something that we've been aiming for. In ASI era, we want to be the platform provider. That's how we are setting our passion for the future. The same passion from the age of 17. Now, finally, if this was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, if we talked about AI or ASI and talking about we want to be number one, but people wouldn't really believe me, because where in the SoftBank can find any AI? And people may not believe in me. However, now we are very serious, and from bottom of my heart, the time has come. We are ready. We are seeing ASI era very close to us. And on top of that, we have several things that number one in the world. For example, we have our director, CEO of Mr. René Haas, with us today. We may want a comment from him as well later on, but ARM is making a rapid growth. Keep growing. How so? You see, around the world, you saw that the ARM-based chip design and also those technologies, kind of copyrights, but we call it IP, intellectual property, is held by ARM, and they provide variety of design to many companies, and they are producing chip based on ARM design. Cumulatively, we now reaching 310 billion number of chip, and actually it is increasing drastically. When we acquired, they were very much focusing on chip design for mobile phone. So it was like a very small device only. However, in the past 10 years, becoming or able to design variety of and stronger chip, PC, auto, IoT, cloud. When you speak of cloud, you may imagine Google, Microsoft. So that's a kind of a large computing center, data center, and those chip is also using ARM-based chip. It was like a market share 0% when we acquired this company, but this year, now, they are taking about over 50% cloud market share by year end. And as a SoftBank Group, recently, we have announced acquisition of GraphCore, acquisition of Ampere. And those two companies, based on such design made by ARM, they will be bringing to the chip production itself, and they have a variety of the technology to do so. ARM is a kind of a beginning process, front process that they are working on, and they are kind of a second half of the process for chip production, and they have such know-how. And adding those two processes, we can create a chip. And these two companies hold the second half of the process of chip production. And now that we're having acquisition of these two, and now that we're having an in-house technology in the group. Now, ARM is now entering into ASI, and variety of chipset is going to be necessary. And such variety of chip design by ARM may cover almost every aspect of the life. Therefore, SoftBank so far, we have some Japan #1 type of achievements. The customer number, subscriber number in mobile phones still #3, but we have Yahoo, PayPay, Line, so on. So we have some Japan #1 achievement. However, we haven't done world #1, overwhelming #1 in mobile phone. Around the world, smartphone, 99% of the smartphone are actually using ARM-based chip. This is overwhelming #1. And ARM is actually center of our AI strategy going forward.
Next, OpenAI. In the video, you saw that we started investing in OpenAI, and we are a majority shareholder of OpenAI. We have created a lot of joint ventures with them. In the generative AI area, OpenAI is the #1 position globally. I would say they have about 80% of market share. Weekly active user, I think, exceeded 500 million. It's been only 2 years since they launched a ChatGPT product. It's been only 2 years or so, but already 500 million people are using OpenAI's ChatGPT. It's been growing so rapidly. And OpenAI is our partner, and we have announced a lot of joint venture initiatives with OpenAI. And the AI capability offered by OpenAI, finally this year, reached a level where they passed a test of post-grad school level. I think only 0.1% of people globally could pass the post-grad test. So it's really over the intelligent level of human. Already, the capacity or capability at least exceeds average human's intelligence. Even further, going forward, it's not the level of just knowing, like a Google search, but it starts doing reasoning at the multiple levels, and there's a concept of AI engine which acts by themselves. In the past, when you do programming with PC, or when you place an order or make an order in smartphone, That's a human's work. Human has to work by themselves. Humans have to program by themselves. But since this year, AI is now capable of acting themselves, or it's called AI agent, agentic AI. All you need to do is to say the goal that you want to achieve. Then AI takes an action by themselves, and they put an order, checking inventory, and open an account, and enter addresses so that the products you order can be delivered. And also, or AI can do research for you. So all you need to do is to tell them what you want to achieve, the result and the goal. You are an investor, and you make investment because you want return sooner rather than later. At the moment, you look at a lot of economy news or papers to think whether you should buy this or not. But again, sooner or later, if you have 1 million yen, and if you want to make it 10 times in 1 year, you can just tell the AI, select a stock that I should buy and trade the stock in the market on my behalf. And here's what we want to achieve. And then AI agent will ask you, you want to take a risk, how much, you want prefer global stocks or domestic stocks, and you tell them what to do. And then AI will say that, yes, sir, and I will do my best to achieve your goal. So they start working and sweating for you. So you should start using soon rather than late. So the most advanced AI company in the world, which is OpenAI, we signed a deal with OpenAI, allowing us to make more investment in the company. Specifically, together with the investment we already made, we plan to make, the total investment in OpenAI is likely to be 4.8 trillion Japanese yen. OpenAI is not listed companies, and I think this is one of the biggest investment by a company, single company, to invest in unlisted entity. OpenAI's valuation is said to be 40-something trillion yen. In Japan, Toyota's valuation is around 30 trillion yen. So OpenAI already exceeds Toyota, which is the biggest company in Japan in terms of corporate value. I think that OpenAI will be listed eventually, and eventually, according to my belief, OpenAI will become the most valuable company in the world. I strongly believe in OpenAI. So in the future, I would look back and, or maybe if you look back and you might regret later, I wish I had invested in OpenAI much earlier. At the moment, OpenAI is again unlisted, and it takes a bravery to invest as much as 4.8 trillion yen in such company. In fact, OpenAI is not profitable yet, but I am all in. I'm all in at ASI world. So ARM, OpenAI, in the field of ASI are going to be indispensable companies. And we announced the Cristal intelligence that OpenAI and us will deliver through the joint venture. Inventory management and technology in our group, about 2,500 systems here and there. So what we want to do is to integrate them and making them into one single super intelligence. So when you ask this crystal ball, the crystal ball will answer back to you your any question. That's our concept. Starting from sometime around December, the crystal should become available. Once the ASI world comes, so agents that act proactively by themselves and robots will be AI integrated, and robots are something physical. So on top of white collar world, if you want, blue collar world, ASI will be integrated in both worlds, and every industry will be transformed dramatically. Inventory management, and medical field, and manufacturing sector, or city building, and medical surgery, or design, invention, cooking, everywhere. Autonomous driving, obviously. Everything will be completely transformed. It's been 50 years since I started having the passion and commitment. And when I imagine the next 50 years, I'll be excited. The way people work, the way people feel happy about people's lifetime, longevity, and the relationship with AI. Maybe we may need to rethink ourselves from philosophy perspective, because this is a historic moment that is happening. To summarize, again, the journey started 50 years ago when I first encountered a microcomputer image. And the next 50 years, I don't think I'll be there alive. Or maybe, thanks to ASI, my longevity might get prolonged. But the next 10 years, my passion still remains, and maybe I might be still healthy. In any case, as a group, in the world of ASI, we want to be the #1 platform provider in the world. I have kept saying that the era of ASI should come. And in the era of ASI, we want to get the #1 platform provider position in the world. I think this commitment, maybe this is the first time to talk about this commitment today. Again, I predicted the era of ASI should come. On top of that, I would say now, we will be the #1 in the ASI world. I am a bad loser. I don't want to lose. I always want to be number one. Whether or not we can achieve, but definitely I am committed to becoming number one. We have been surviving even though somebody might call us common or dubious, but we have been surviving. We have been running a business, and we have been making sure that we have financial resources and a user base so that we can take a risk sometime. So we have been going through such preparation process, and now is the time that we could say we want to be number one platform provider in the era of ASI. Here is my commitment. Again, we don't know whether we can achieve it or not, but sometimes it's difficult to achieve that. But so long as you have a strong conviction and belief and actions that you take, I think that's most important. So it started with one single tip design and ASI, artificial super intelligence. And it should evolve from something focused on capability to something more compassionate and a deeper connection with people. It's difficult to distinguish between Japanese word chochino and chochise. In English, both could be interpreted as intelligence. And chise, maybe just focus on capability, but the chise in Japanese would more like compassionate and deeper connection with people. So somebody that you want to have as a friend and family, and somebody that you want to admire and respect. If that somebody has the capability, you may not respect the person. But in the world of digital, compassionate someone, and if someone has ability, capability far better than human, but if they don't have compassion and love, maybe people might be distinguished. But I believe that AI are not full. AI are not motivated to destroy human, because humans are the ones that created AI and nurtured AI, and for the happiness of humanity, I believe that AI shared the value with us. I do use ChatGPT every day, and when I have some concerns and share with AI, they give me a very compassionate answers. For example, I have a stomachache, what should I say, what should I do? And the AI gives me an answer with end note like, take care of yourself. Or some doctors may not be empathetic anymore, but AIs rather, I think they already are having compassion and empathy. So when chochino becomes chochise, evolving from something focused on capability to something more compassionate, our corporate philosophy, information revolution, happiness for everyone. What the AI be for? What should AI for? Because we want to make people happy. That's unfolding conviction and commitment and the promise I can make for you. Again, I declare here that we will strive for becoming number one in the ASI world. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Well, today's presentation, I believe that I was much calmer than usual. If so, some people might say that I may be a little tired. I'm very thrilled. I'm very excited. When you're excited, and even you're excited, but you can speak calmly, means that you are determined and you are so convinced. So to me, I would say to myself that, yes, I've done it. I've made it. So when I have that kind of clear thoughts, then I can be calm. Sorry, maybe my talk was too big, but this is how I feel right now. Well, I was really comfortable speaking to you all. Now we will move on to the Q&A session. So the moderator will explain how it will proceed. We will first address pre-submitted questions, followed by questions from shareholders on site. If you wish to speak, please raise one of the color cards provided at the reception so the chairperson can see it. Please wait for the microphone and we will take a question or a comment from one person at a time. Please, we kindly ask that questions be please state only the number shown on your admission card. Your name is not necessary. We kindly ask that questions be made standing, kept brief, and within 1 minute. Next, we will answer online questions submitted today regarding the matters presented at the meeting. Each online shareholder may submit one question. We will finish taking online questions in 5 minutes from now. Let us begin with pre-submitted questions. Moderator will read them aloud. In order to continue grow for the next 300 years, to become a company like that. I have mentioned about that so far a couple of times, and then I am very serious about this. It's not exaggerating. In the long-term perspective, I would like to make this company as such, and to do so, to continue to grow, and the industry has to be well selected. So information revolution has just begun. 100 years, 200 years, and 300 years onwards, I strongly believe that this would continue, and remaining in this industry, there are more opportunities. So nurturing human resources, including the young talents, and gathering excellent talents from all over the world. And we do have hundreds of group companies. And among those companies, the people would compete. And also given a theme so that they can challenge too. And then we also will select the excellent talent and also provide opportunities to those talents. And among those hundreds of group companies, and from competition, they will be nurtured. It is quite difficult to find an excellent talent from outside. So therefore, since we are in this competitive industry and advanced industry, so we believe that excellent talent will be nurtured among those group companies and through the competition.
I may talk a little bit technical stuff, but currently Gen AI is basically based on a model called the transformer. The transformer model, there are some technical issues around a transformer, and the question is, can the transformer overcome such technical challenges? And the reasoning, like Mr. Son mentioned earlier, inference model, how much performance it can deliver, and the relationship with the open source products and solutions. Those are technical challenges or issues that you may need to overcome. But globally, a lot of researchers working hard to overcome those challenges, and great talents obviously are there in OpenAI. I think that those challenges will be resolved as time goes. So from macro perspective, I don't think any critical technical issues.
In the presentation just before, I've pointed out, rather than asset value, our market cap is almost half, and that's how it's been dealt, and it's discount. I don't know if it's called Masayoshi Son's discount, but our shareholder is share price is being impacted. And as for shareholders, I think it's an opportunity. So why it's so low? The share price is low. Well, it's low, so let's buy it. I think it's an opportunity, we could say. So I have done share buybacks time to time, and so the cash in hand, and also some capital has to be kept for investments. So therefore, I believe that there will be an opportunity for share buybacks in the future as well. But when is not something I can answer right now. But yes, there is a possibility for that in the future. But more importantly, even though I say it's a discount, it's not as big as like 10 times or more. So the point is that whether you can grow this company tenfold or more in the future. So that's why, as I said, that I made a commitment to myself that we would become ASI #1 platformer. So we do have potentials, and we are in the position to be able to become. So how to increase market cap is that
Next, we will take questions from shareholders on site. While negotiations or discussions between OpenAI and Microsoft are something that they are working on by themselves. So I'm not in a position to make a comment on that. Your question about OpenAI should have gotten investment from SoftBank or not. Well, to be honest, actually, before Microsoft invested at like $10 billion or so, before that, I met Sam of OpenAI, and he asked me, would you like to invest in my company? And I would say, oh, I would do that. And how much? I asked him. And he said maybe $10 billion, but they were not listed and they didn't have any revenue at all. And he asked me, would you like to invest in me? And I said, yes, I would. I was serious because I had financial resources thanks to Vision Fund performance. But obviously, Sam talked to other potential investors, and eventually they picked Microsoft. If I were Sam, I would choose Microsoft, not SoftBank. See, the same amount of money. Well, SoftBank was smaller than we are now, and Microsoft, on the other hand, had global supply chains. They have technical talents and they have brand value. So in any way, Microsoft was much bigger than us. So eventually they selected Microsoft. But my conviction remained the same since then. In fact, recently, my conviction gets stronger and stronger about OpenAI. No matter what would happen between Microsoft and OpenAI, SoftBank still remains believing in OpenAI and even deepen relationship with OpenAI.
Well, it's not that ASI gives the controls human, but provides suggestions, and ASI is also better than the robots and giving suggestions whether to accept it or refuse it is up to human. But discussing over and over, and if a suggestion by ASI is something that you feel like you're convinced enough, then you may find that you want to follow their suggestions more than before. So AI shogi, and these days also provides like AI judgment, and you also believe that judgment. So compared to human judgment, and in the shogi case, and you may believe what AI judgment is rather than professional shogi player. So the weather forecast is also the same. So I think more and more ASI would be reliable. So it can be close to the situation where ASI also can sit in the position of management. So But ASI, I just strongly believe that ASI will develop to the level of where they can grow well.
Well, I didn't say inside or outside the company. In my mind, actually, I have potential candidate successors in my mind. They are among our group. So there's no such thing as there's no successor at all at the moment. So they are working every day. They are exposing themselves into those areas every day. So inside our group, they are growing and they are being nurtured. But it's very difficult until the very last minute to select my own successor. Those 2, 3, 4 candidates in my mind, at which point I should make an announcement? Well, I don't want to get them complacent or get greedy or get bossy. So of course you need to anticipate some risk, my health or accidents. So always I know I have to be prepared myself.
What would you say? Well, human to human, heart to heart, enjoy together and also have a dream to work towards and to share meals. And you don't have meals with the computer. But whenever I have meals, I am with my colleagues, with my business partners. So almost every time I have a meal, I'm with my business partners or colleagues. So now with the computer, so to share happiness with human. But as also mentioned, from the bottom of my heart, so as I would heal the human's illness or to alleviate pain and grief and to provide happiness. And I believe in that. That's why I have a strong beliefs in that. But sharing some happiness and also how you feel compassionate is something that you can share with people, human.
Yes, AI will become a social infrastructure and industrial base, and technically we would say redundancy. By that, what I mean is even though a system fails, next a system takes over to make sure that work continues without disruption. So redundant design is becoming more and more important, and we always keep that in mind. When mobile outage takes place, obviously there are people that have troubles. So even though one system fails, we want to make sure redundancy is in place so that a mobile network continues to deliver services. Still, failure happens. So again, redundancy is becoming more and more important, and cyber attacks can be also a risk. But with ASI, so long as very, very powerful ASI, even though attacks take place, I believe that we can still protect ourselves with very powerful ASI. Thank you for your question.
The border between business and investment is not so clear, crystal clear, I believe. So a company up to 100 employees, so one business, but when the company grows to 10 trillion yen, or when the company scales up and with group companies, and you reduce the number of group companies, or you reduce or increase the number of staff, that is also done by the management perspective and also the investor's perspective. So towards the world of ASI, including startups, so I want to act like investors and also as a business person. So, but the purpose is crystal clear, as I mentioned in the presentation, that we would become ASI #1 platformer. So therefore, to achieve this, we establish a new business. So you have not directly involved in our business, but you, as an investor, we are the same peers towards the same goal with the same dream. So that I really appreciate your participants as shareholders. Thank you.
No matter who, I wouldn't get involved with any particular politicians. Like I haven't make donation to them. But as country, like America or India or wherever it is, in terms of business, maybe I can contribute to the country's growth by investing in business in that country, if those would lead to win-win relationship with the country and us. And the center of AI, center of revolution at the moment is in the United States. And when it comes to building a huge social infrastructure in the country like US, there are cases where you need to directly negotiate with the US government. In that sense, I often visit the White House to meet with ministry levels of people. It's because the United States is the center of revolution. And in order to do business in the US, you need to have necessary approval, and we need to communicate with them to let them know our philosophy, and you need to gain trust from them. I have done this, and I will do this continuously. Again, not only in the United States, but other countries as well. But at the moment, US has the biggest opportunity for us to achieve our goal.
If I were healthy and if I believe that it will be better for me to stay as a leader, then I would love to continue. But if I would become a bottleneck to a future growth of the company, then of course I would pass on to my successor. So SoftBank Corp, CEO Miyakawa, telecommunications operation company, and he's doing well, and I have a full trust on him, and I would love to see my successors to be nurtured, but I still have a passion, so I would like to do my best. Whether ASI can replace, I don't think that would happen, but utilizing ASI in the maximum manner, and also everyone could utilize ASI, then I think that would be ideal.
In 10 years, at least 5% of GDP globally would be delivered by ASI companies, or few of ASI-oriented companies would enjoy the fruit of their work. 5% of global GDP will be 13 trillion yen, and I would say 4 of such ASI companies would share the 13 trillion yen or something. And those companies are doing increasing yield type of businesses. And they should be able to get about 600 trillion yen of profit. And I would say that you get more gain than investment made. So that level of scale and that level of position, I would want to be one of those 4 or 5 companies, ASI companies that deliver to the global GDP. It's not a promise I can make. If I make a promise, somebody might sue me later. So I don't want to get myself into trouble, but I have that level of commitment. Even though the number would turn out to be small for us, it's just a margin of error. In the big picture, it's just a margin of error. So again, so long as we are positioned, we should be able to position ourselves at that level. Sooner or later, direction-wise, I think that we want to be in such a position in 10 years' time.
Absolutely. So in the US, so AI is being utilized the most in the world right now, and the technology innovation is way advanced. The second place is China. Well, excellent technologies on AI available in China. Unfortunately, Japan is way behind. So there are some pros and cons and some criticism on AI. However, the media in Japan and those with knowledge and expertise. I would motivate them all to make this more exciting. And since you're all here, and so you as investors here for SoftBank Group Corp, and I know that you have more interest in AI. So today there are some media here, and so I don't want Japan in the future to be also still, remaining way behind of the other countries. So Dr. Matsuo here today and is an expert in AI. So I would like to see AI would be more spread.
Thank you for your question. About the financing, it's not investment in the bulk, 78 trillion. We are going through phases, like phase 1, 2, 3. We will expand investment size, even in one phase. Like capacity-wise, it'll start from 1 gig and go to 4 gig and 7 gig. And also, depending on where the data centers are located, 200 megawatt, 200 megawatt. So we will build those data centers and we will aggregate it gradually. So we start from small and grow them bigger. So what we are looking at is project finance way. SoftBank, OpenAI put capital, and by the project, finance should be made through the project finance scheme, like investors or money managers, like banks or insurance companies, for different projects, looking at OpenAI's level revenue at that time or the potential timing of IPO, looking at those conditions, they are making decisions accordingly. So I believe that I should be able to finance going through those phases. And in fact, we will embark on a particular project in a particular place. And as you can see more, I think you should be able to have better understanding about how we go. About the profitability, again, OpenAI launched a service in just 2 years ago or so, but they have been seeing a revenue twice as much. I think looking at the latest status of OpenAI, maybe as of May or June, $10 billion annually are being generated by OpenAI. Back in December, it was $5 billion. So from December through May, they saw revenue growth 2 times. And if the growth pace is the same, then eventually their revenue would be huge or substantial. And investment needed in compute, I think a few years ahead that they can become profitable, but right before likely to be profitable, IPO could happen. Looking at Amazon and Meta and Google, they have become a huge entity and generating huge profit. But at the time of IPO, they barely made profitable or still lost money. And Alibaba, in the same year where they are listed, they were losing money, but eventually they were able to generate a lot of profits and market cap skyrocketed. So investors and analysts make great predictions. So in a few years' time, I believe that OpenAI is ready for IPO, and structure for them to become a listed company is something that being discussed and being prepared. So that's how we see OpenAI. So I have no doubt.
Well, even though I had also gone through up and downs, cryptocurrency for me has already been able to acquire sort of recognition in the public. So that value goes up and down. I wouldn't say that everyone should invest in that, but worldwide it's been penetrated, and how to utilize it is also varied. And so the cryptocurrency has acquired some sort of recognition worldwide. Personally, I've invested in it and I sold it in a short period of time. If I had kept it, I would have earned quite a lot. The reason why I sold it quickly was that because you have to keep watching it, and so often, if so, then I could not focus on my own business. So I had never really invested in something else other than SoftBank related shares. So in my mind, I don't want to spend my mind or energy for something other than SoftBank related things. So you have to keep watching how the cryptocurrency goes up, moves around. So I thought that was not healthy for me. I wanted to just focus on SoftBank. That's why I sold it. But Bitcoin, digital currency, I've never really refused. So I believe that it will be split more.
Yes, DeepSeek is a group of companies that have great technical talents, but in principle, America's OpenAI and Google and Anthropic, those American companies are creating AI with great parameters, and as a trainer's model in an upstream process, so again, what DeepSeek is doing is to utilize such a teacher model created by Google, OpenAI, Anthropic, and they are just focusing on student model, if you will, to spend money less and to use compute power less. It's not because DeepSeek could do by themselves. After the most advanced models are created by somebody like Google or OpenAI, more compressed one like O3 or Mini, which was able to reduce the cost. And cost down would be more and more commonplace. like a 99% discount within 1 year, for example, was actually achieved. But every time cost goes down, then advanced one will be also released as well. So the most advanced model would require more computing power. And also, there are cost-down versions or compressed versions of those models, which are a little bit behind the most advanced one. So if you are okay with a little bit behind ones, of course, you can have cheaper ones, but competition is very, very severe. The companies that have the most advanced model could win. So the most advanced model, of course, would be evolved even further. And maybe the most advanced models that and companies that create most advanced model would get more revenue and more profit, I guess.
Yes, I would do that. So as I said earlier, so I would like to become ASI #1 platformer in the world. So with our entire group company, we would like to become so. So my determination, yes, I will make it happen.
I think a simple formula. I have a very simple formula in my mind to calculate a share price. I have a simple formula in my mind. What is that? In 10 years, 20 years, how much free cash flow post-tax, after tax, how much free cash flow after tax, depreciation, and everything, the pure free cash flow that you have in your hands in 10 years, 20 years, and 30 years, the total amount of free cash flow and discount by present value. So if you divide back to the present value, I think that should be the company's value. Looking ahead 10 years, 20 years, and 30 years, it's up to people how you predict in the future in terms of growth potential. When you discount back, you need to consider interest rate, for example. So with inference of ASI based upon varieties of data sets, then the most reasonably explainable share price can be calculated by ASI. In the past, a lot of internet companies, share prices went up and down, but now they are making profits. And I think companies' performance are relatively related to the share prices. So again, it's important for a company to make sure that they can keep growing in the future. Even though you play a cheap trick, you can't sustain for long term. And I think you can refer to the prediction by ASI sooner rather than later when you determine you buy or sell a stock.
I would just invest in establishing base for ASI.
Well, thank you very much for questions from the venue. Now, we have questions from online participants, and let me try to answer those questions. The moderator will read them aloud. Well, when necessary, we are ready to execute them. But again, I don't think I should make a comment about the future.
Well, investment activities with OpenAI or the joint venture with them. So in Japan, SoftBank Corporation, led by CEO Miyakawa, so with them, Cristal Intelligence. So Cristal Intelligence is catching attention by major enterprises in Japan. So I believe that there will be a great synergy effect among us, and LINE-Fu, PayPay, and all. So with AI features, and they have been working really hard to come up with a new service. So already there is synergy there. So there are some tens of companies with specialized in AI, and so with them and also the Stargate project, all these robotics companies, and so by collaborating with them, and a further growth can be expected. So we have been seeding quite enough. So those will be mingled and then grow even stronger.
SoftBank Corp established a dedicated team as of April 1st called SoftBank OpenAI Preparation Office. And there is a challenge assigned to each and every employee, and every employee is encouraged to make 100 AI agents. The campaign or competition started just a few days ago, and every day the employees are making by themselves AI agents, several hundreds. In fact, server capacities are not enough to deal with those AI agents created by their own employees. So that's the SoftBank Corp. So what I'm trying to say is, internally within a company, first they will make an AI agent, a huge number of AI agents. We have a specific number in place as a goal. And absolute number one AI agents in the world will be utilized internally by December. So SoftBank by themselves become a use case first before delivering the capability to clients, Yahoo, LINE. So group companies would start using those AI agents, AI capability by themselves before delivering a Cristal intelligence to clients. And from OpenAI's perspective, it's a huge enterprise client for them. One enterprise group pays OpenAI several hundred billion yen a year. So for the future of OpenAI, I think it's going to be a huge test case.
Thank you so much for all your questions. Let's now move to voting. Moderator will explain how to proceed. Online shareholders, please cast your votes on all proposals and then click the exercise button once. Voting is done in one batch. While tallying the online votes, we will proceed with the in-person vote. We will now vote on each matter. Online shareholders, please cast your votes via the internet. Proposal 1, appropriation of surplus, that is to say dividend. If you agree, please clap your hands. Thank you. Proposal 2, election of 9 directors. If you agree, please clap your hands. Thank you. Proposal 3, election of 3 audit and supervisory board members. If you agree, please clap your hands. Thank you. Proposal 4, revision of remuneration in the form of stock options for directors. If you agree, please clap your hands. Thank you so much. Please wait a moment while we confirm the voting results. Voting results have been confirmed. All 4 proposals received a majority of affirmative votes. Now all the proposals have been approved in the form proposed. That concludes the proceedings of this meeting. I hereby declare the 45th Annual General Meeting of Shareholders closed. Mr. Uno and Mr. Otsuka retire from their roles as Audit and Supervisory Board members at the conclusion of this meeting. Thank you very much for your contributions. And here are newly appointed Audit and Supervisory Board members, Ms. Nishibashi and Ms. Kanamaru. Last but not least, I would like to share my favorite video to conclude the meeting.
Sorrow is inherent to the human condition. Since the beginning of time, humans have sought to overcome sorrow. Some have turned to religion. Others have sought solace in philosophy or art. Now, we see a different solution. A new means to relieve sorrow, to multiply joy. A solution unique to our time, to our era. We call it the Information Revolution. A revolution that allows the thoughts of one to be shared by many, and the thoughts of many to be available to all. Connecting people, thoughts, visions, and dreams, one to another, no matter how far apart they may be. When you're all alone in the dark of night, someone, somewhere, on the other side of the planet, can shed a ray of morning light. A technology developed in one country can solve a problem in another. A brilliant idea on one side of the globe can turn despair to hope on the other. Information technology generates an attractive force between people, ideas, and thoughts. A force that drives our destiny and that tells us we are not alone. A force that brings people together and sets us free, overcoming barriers of nationality, age, race, language, time, and space. We believe that this new force will help us cure disease, fill education with excitement, eliminate war, and live in peace. Ever-evolving technology and the never-changing value of human love. Together, we'll open the doors to a new century of happiness and joy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for attending the annual general meeting of shareholders of SoftBank Group Corp.